Hello everyone, my name's Brian, that's my brother Adam, and we are the Factional Fight Brothers. Today in Wurm Online, we're going to be back at our Labyrinth and trying to finish it off. We're going to show you guys exactly what we've been doing since the last few videos, as well as we're going to discuss the recently announced changes to Epic and what that all means. I don't even know. Adam has decided to go on the forums to deduce exactly what Buddha was talking about with those changes, and he's going to inform me and teach me what they all mean. Want to find out? Find out next. Alright, welcome back everyone. You can see here that we are back in the Labyrinth. I'm actually in the first part of the labyrinth looking out. That cow is still trapped in our labyrinth right there since like the last video. Which means it's been weeks and it still hasn't solved our puzzles. Oh yeah, that's how it's gonna be. I hope that's not how it's gonna be. It's not too complicated. Oh, there you are. It's not too complicated in here. I hope anyway.
Don't
Here's
fall.
the problem. We can't see anything. It's like this is it. Except for this little slit. That's why I kind of made it here. You can kind of see out here. But what have we been doing since the last video? Let's take a look. So in our village, we've been doing a couple things. One, finishing up the castle. That's been a big thing of what we've been trying to do. And two, we've been trying to finish up the mine, which is still ongoing. And three, we're going to need to polish everything up. Complete fences that when we build them, they will block us from entering that section. So we have to finish what's inside of there. And, the decoration, which is not our strong suits, we're not good at it. And putting locks on everything, like tons of locks on doors.
All the logic
everywhere.
of the labyrinth.
Yeah,
the logic of the labyrinth has to be like set. We have to go through it several times and like set everything to be just right. Yeah.
But so from that list, we have, and this is you can only say this a few times in the lifetime of Wurm. We have finished our giant castle. There you go. Yeah. Took 2 years, but we finished our giant castle, and this is what it looks like right here. This is like the worst view ever.
Yeah, in fact, up on this level,
there it is.
You've told me that there's only 2 more bridges to build.
Yes, right.
And the construction will have been done.
I went around, I did some paving, although I would really like to change the pavement. But whatever. I started doing some pavement. I started doing some fences. You can see here. We only have a couple more tiny little bridges that I haven't built. But other than that, I'm trying to get a better view at this castle. But
I can't wait to try out this because I don't know exactly how this thing works.
Where are you? There you go.
Like the labyrinth in general.
Look, there's that half the castle that wasn't built.
We still have to rebuild this building, eh?
Yeah, so the bad thing is there needs to be a bridge from like this part here to this part here, and it was like 3 slope too far from each other, so we couldn't build it. So I had to destroy this whole building, lower the ground 3 dirt, and then rebuild this building.
I actually didn't know that you finished that. Yeah. The last time I saw it, we were figuring out that we were messed.
That's right. So I did that, and then basically it's tiny, so it didn't take too long, but it's still annoying. We built that, and now we have to build the bridge. Oh, this is very strange, the way that my targeting is working right now. Oh. Can I target you? part of the time I can. Luckily, I don't have to right now.
Hmm.
So,
Okay.
what does that mean? I didn't just finish the outside of the castle. I also finished the inside of the castle. So if we go inside, this is pretty awesome. When you enter here, it's just all bridge. So you're underneath a bridge, which means nothing will grow on the ground here. More
That's
bridges.
awesome.
All of the floors, all of the walls, and all of
Very
the fences
nice.
are done.
Very nice.
Look at that.
And all these crates have to be taken as part of the cleanup.
If anybody would like crates of dirt, just come to our labyrinth and pick them up because there's so many of them. I think someone already did come and pick some up.
Yeah, somebody came and actually grabbed 3 wagonfuls of it, and still it left this much.
You know what sucks? I finished the walls here, and then I realized that there was one crate, this one right here, on the opposite side of the wall, and there's no way to get that crate out. We'd have to destroy a wall. Either destroy the wall or destroy the crate. I don't know which one, and it probably has 300 dirt in it or something. Maybe we'll just end up destroying the crate unless somebody wants to come and pick all this stuff up. I think all this stuff is zinc. We're gonna have to start getting people to come here and either taking some of these crates, or I don't know like how we're gonna have to start cleaning up this whole labyrinth, and there's so much stuff everywhere. I don't even know what these are, and my targeting won't let me target them.
That's unfortunate. Why is that
targeting is happening like this? I know. There was one setting. Oh, and by me opening this up, it screwed it up. But let me see if I can quickly figure out how to do this. Actually, no, they took away those settings. That's odd.
Huh. So is the other castle completed as well, or is there like some things that need to be fixed up? Because I remember you telling me like there's some things at the top that need to be.
All right, let me get that back. All right, good. So I went to the top of this castle building and I finished it as well.
Oh, awesome. So all the details are done.
We have to do is decorate a little bit.
Right.
The decorating. But the whole puzzle in this castle is completed. So you could potentially be my test subject and run around this castle area and see if you could figure out how to get out. Because it should be
is it
90% complete. Because we still haven't done the locks.
Yeah, I can walk right through all this, and I'm sure some of this is going to be locked, if not both of them.
That is correct. So,
but yeah, this is quite amazing. And there's a bridge to the other side.
Yeah.
Are you just following me?
I'm gonna try. Yeah.
This is his favorite thing to do, is to follow people going through them, going through his maze.
That is true.
And I reached a dead end.
Uh-oh. What to do?
What to do is right.
I don't know.
See, I see it.
You see what?
I see something. Like, for example, if I fell into where that dirt crate was, would I get stuck in there? Where is that heading?
You'd have to find out. I don't know. Anyway, so while Adam contemplates the labyrinth, Wurm, in general, has been busy just doing work on making this huge update that's coming. We already know most of what's coming, right? Because we already did the big archaeology announcement. That's coming in the big update. They've announced the Wagoner. That's coming in the big update. They've announced what's the second skill, of course, I can't remember what it's called.
Restoration.
That's coming with the update. They've announced a
Mm-hmm.
number of quality fixes. I don't know if all those, like animal crates, are coming in
Animal
the update, I
crates.
believe.
Everybody's excited about those.
Yeah. So, what else have they announced that are coming in the update? And sorry for Adam's video seems to have been frozen, or he have some internet problems recently. It's been raining a lot, but hopefully we can at least hear you. We can still hear you, right?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. All right. So
All right.
forget about your choppy video. This is pretty much a podcast anyway. So, so what were we doing? What have they now announced that is also included in the updates? They've announced these epic changes.
Well, yes. So it was a couple weekly newses ago, and Retro announced that all of Epic is going to get a complete revamp where, people from Freedom will be able to hop over to Epic with complete no loss of all of your skills. And that there's going to be a bunch of changes, and they've alluded to a bunch of changes that they're going to be making to Epic. One of the main ones is the way you're going to be skilling up is going to be more similar to Wurm Unlimited. What else was there?
Yeah, I don't know.
They are going to change the way the Valray map is going to work. Although I never really understood how that worked in the first place, so I'll be honest, that doesn't really...
This is what I learned.
Mm-hmm.
I learned that, you can take your character and transfer it to Epic with all of the same skills that you have on Freedom. That's the only thing I took from that whole update.
That seems like it's about right.
I'm sure there's more.
Well, I mean, there was a couple small things, like, for example, how meditation would work. Sounds like they're going to make it easier, and how you get some sleep bonus when you're traveling. Yeah.
So, you read the post. It seemed very complicated, and it was like over my head.
Well, that part wasn't even the complicated part. Like, they were basically saying that there's going to be a whole bunch of changes to, like, the way the Valray God system works, and I guess the missions that's attached to it, and then that there's other changes that they have yet to announce and are probably going to be announcing over the next couple, weekly newses or so. But then I think, like, the next weekly news, there wasn't really much extra, was there? Let's take a look.
And while you take a look, let's look at some other parts of the Labyrinth, namely what we've been doing in the mines.
Right.
So we've been hard at work. Initially, we said the mine is going to be like the fun place that you go to in the middle of the labyrinth that will be easy to solve, and it'll just be like cool because you remember if you watch the movie and she falls into the oubliette, and it's kind of funny like what happened. So we wanted to match that, so I gave the job to Adam to because he's the miner, to go into the mine and create something really fun, and he came back with a freaking whole other labyrinth. What is going on? Oh yeah, we're gonna need to why don't we just build houses here and houses there? Anyway, the only way into this place is through the exit right now. We haven't quite finished it, but we're getting really close, aren't we?
Yeah, we're getting really close. It sort of turned into this over time. I don't know how it got this far, but I don't know. One thing led to another, and I remember on that episode, there was that episode where we mined down this initial drop, and our thought was there's going to be this massive drop because at the very end, we're going to climb up this and get out.
I don't know how I'm doing this. I'm having targeting issues. There we go.
Is it something that resetting the game might help?
I've had this quite a bit recently. I'm not sure if it's related to Java, the newest Java 8 point or Java 15 or whatever it is.
Yeah, I have that
Or
one.
it was related to the OBS software, which also had an update recently.
Yeah, and that OBS software is getting a little glitchy on us.
Alright, maybe. We'll take a break and find out. I'm going to log out and back in. I'll be right back. Alright, I finally got down the stairs. I think I solved the problem here. I do believe it has something to do with OBS. Anyway, let's keep going. So we're going through our mine. We made quite the substantial progress in this mine, other than the fact that I think we still need about 300 support beams. It's going to take a lot of support beams. Which way do we go? This way?
And there's still a lot to mine out. But this place has most of the buildings, and a lot of progress has been made on those buildings. So that's definitely, it feels good. It feels good.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope that, I don't know, that it's feeling good, but at the same time, it feels like so far away.
Yeah, it still has a ways to go, but you know, every episode that we do, we say the same kind of thing. And you know, I remember a while ago I was saying like, yeah, it feels close, but it's like we're like 90% there, and 10% is still.
Look at this room. So this is not even going to be the best room in this mine. We have this like other room we haven't even started making. But I thought that I had this idea in my head that a house could potentially be flush with the mine wall, and you couldn't see the other side of the house. It just looks like a door entryway, just like the oubliette, where it's like a pretend door was just like hidden in the wall. This is the best that we could do. Essentially, you'll come into this room and you'll have all of these choices on where to go, and you have to pick which one it is. So we did manage to finish this room. We finished the room. We put some pavement on the ground. We even managed to make it so all the houses are almost done. I think they're getting very close, as far as I know.
You know,
where you can see it's not quite finished. It's supposed to look in the end unfinished, kind of like the Labyrinth was in the mine. Things were kind of dirty and dusty and falling apart. So some of that will take shape down here. What exactly were we still needing to do down here? So let's start that.
There's a ton to do down here. But we have made quite a lot of progress. So I think we'll take this door.
Yep.
And in this door we have our wagon, all of our stuff. And we're going to climb up.
Let's make sure I have that wagon open. All right. So what are we doing up here?
All right. So up here, you look one way and there's like a little landing over there. You look the other way and there's a building that goes.
I can't even see the top of that building. I feel like I'm gonna fall out. Oh, there it is.
Wow. Do not fall.
Why?
Because if you do fall, we had actually from the other side.
There's no way out.
There's no way out. So, on the other side, our priest fell off. I was, accidentally fell her off into the pit, and I realized that there's no way out. Oh,
all right. I will stay away from there.
But yeah,
that is funny.
what we're basically going to be working towards is raising this ceiling that's above us over here,
Yeah.
and we're going to continue building this building upwards and connect it by bridge to that sandstone building over there.
All right. Let's do that.
Right.
So another mine video.
I hope I
Anyway,
understand
so-
that sometimes watching Wurm is like boring, but you know, there are times where this game has kind of amazing appeal in the sense that we can do things like we're doing right now.
I think we've said it before. Our videos are a video podcast.
Mm-hmm.
The video is just us playing Wurm. It's more. I almost at some point wanted to change this to just a podcast, just an audio podcast, because that seems more of what this show is. But you know, might as well be playing Wurm while we talk. You know.
Maybe we could like just record the audio as well, and people could listen to it as a podcast through something else.
That's an interesting idea.
Decide they want to do it that way instead.
Hmm.
Something to think about.
Yeah, something to think about. So we talked about all the different updates that are coming out.
Yep.
In this, all the things they've announced
Briefly.
for the update. Did we miss anything? Do you remember anything?
Yeah, there's like a couple like little things. I mean, things that are like coming to Epic only, such as meditation change, and you're going to get sleep bonus if you transfer between clusters or something like that. It seems a little bit excessive, but okay. And then there's all that Valkyrie changes that they made to the whole god system, and we sort of glossed over that because we simply don't understand it.
So, what do you understand about these changes that are coming to Epic?
So
that you can.
What I do understand is that from the perspective of a Freedom player, this change is great. It sounds like we can have a whole other area to explore in this game at no loss of our skills that we didn't have access to before. Like we made epic characters, right?
Yeah,
we made epic characters and had our like little stint over there on Epic, and ever since then we came back and never went back. And you know, how different would it be if we could go over there and explore new lands and have a whole adventure over there without having to rebuild that character from scratch again?
I mean, for me, I am a Freedom player, right? I just want PvE. And if I go over there, it would be just to have some fun, but not to stay there, if that makes sense.
Well,
I don't know. Convince me.
Maybe it's because you're the type of player who still enjoys playing on Freedom, are content to continue to construct these monstrosities again and again, and go from project to project and travel the lands of Freedom. And there are going to be people who are like that. I don't think that this change is geared towards those players, you know.
Then who are these changes geared towards?
I think that these changes are geared towards people who have, for one reason or another, stopped playing the game, or they had the spark for the game, they loved the game, but then that fizzled out, and they just maybe they experienced the chores dilemma where they get too many chores and it becomes like you come in to sort of just keep your fields and tend to your animals and stuff, and you log out.
All right.
But now this offers another opportunity for you to restart, and you can restart in another place with a completely different rule set.
So why would I want that rule set?
Well, one thing they've announced is that the way you skill up over there is going to be similar to how you do it in Wurm Unlimited. Now, there's a big difference between how Wurm Unlimited skilling up goes and compared to Wurm Online.
Okay.
And some people prefer Wurm Unlimited's method, and that might appeal to them. Maybe there's a whole bunch of people who went over to Wurm Unlimited and are enjoying their time there. And this is an opportunity to appeal a gameplay element, to those people.
To bring some people from Worm Unlimited to Worm Online.
Yeah, potentially.
That makes sense.
That's
People that fear that their private servers might go down, they want something more stable or concrete, but still have like some kind of Worm Unlimited type of rule set.
Yeah. One thing they did mention though is that, and this was like I don't know, it was smallly written. It wasn't emphasized, and it said something like that they're going to work on making it so that it's less of a spam fest in order to gain skills, because that's kind of what it is on Worm Unlimited. If you want the optimal skill gain over there, you just spam create thousands and thousands and thousands of the same thing.
Oh,
like
really?
you would take a anvil, a highest quality anvil, like, and iron lumps, and make nails, and this would give you the best skill gain compared to anything else.
Interesting.
So they did mention something about switching that and making it more appealing or less appealing to spam, but they didn't explain what it was going to be. They just said they will address that issue.
So,
okay, what am I doing here?
As we figure out what we're doing, tell me exactly what is it about Buddha's announcement that people should care about?
Well, okay, this wasn't even Buddha's announcement. This was the main announcement, and then the outcry was that all of the Epic people, the people who have their main characters over on Epic, they did not feel that it was fair that they didn't get an opportunity to transfer to Freedom when all the Freedomers get the opportunity to transfer to Epic, and there was a big uproar. So
Sure.
Retro somewhere down the line said that they'll address that issue.
I thought it was in the main announcement that Retro would that was going to come later.
Yeah, he did say that was going to come
Something
later,
was
and that
gonna-
was in.
Because it was a little more complicated.
Yeah, but he said that not in the main announcement. He said that somewhere down
okay.
the thread. I think it was. Anyway, yeah, I'm looking for it now.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that thread exploded, and people went into this hot debate. And at some point, where was it? I think it was in the latest. They said it somewhere. Buddha. I think it was in Buddha. He announced
Post, yeah.
when he did the Some Epic Thing post.
Mm-hmm.
He started talking about what they're looking at in terms of how would it be fair to allow a Epic player to transfer over to Freedom, in terms of the fact that Epic player would have done less actions potentially
Yes.
than a Freedom player
That is
to
what
get
would
the same
happen.
skill. This sort of exploded into massive debate because Epic players feel that it's just as much of a grind on Epic as it was on Freedom.
Well, I mean, that's a math thing. They could just calculate that.
Right, but apparently, according to Buddha's post, the math is very complicated. Because sometimes there are going to be some skills where an Epic player would have done more actions than a Freedom player to get to the same skill. It's rare, but it happens because of the difficulty, the way the difficulty works. The difficulty of the action is going to be, and
You're gonna have to say
higher
that one more
difficulty. Okay, the difficulty of the action will dictate the outcome of that action. So for example, let's say I'm pickaxing a silver vein, which has a very high difficulty. Then the chances are the outcome will be a very low, a low result.
Yes.
Now, in order to get a skill, like a skill tick, I want low results, but I don't want to get a complete failure. I want to get a range between 1 and 40. right?
Yeah.
Like this is something we've talked about extensively in the past, and it's something that is really important to understand in the conversation of this like skill
Okay.
gap. So higher difficulty means that you're going to more likely get results between 1 and 40 and more likely get skill ups or whatever.
Yeah.
Now the problem is that because Epic gets a 2-time, like, oh man, I have a really hard time explaining this.
You're a teacher. You should have a very
I
easy
know. I should have
time
prepared.
telling
I think
me.
a little bit more. I should have prepared a little bit more.
All right, just keep going. So I'm following.
Okay.
So Epic has 2 times skill gain more than Freedom players.
Right. And that's the argument for, Freedom players throw in Epic players' faces whenever, like, I'm reading through these threads, and it's actually quite mean. But Freedomers have this misconception that Epic players have 2 times the skill gain, which means that if I can get to 100, if they can get to one, whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever, the highest skill.
Like, for example, if on Freedom I got to level 20, 1 to 20, that
Yeah.
on Epic, if I did the same amount, I would be at 40. That's the assumption. The thing is, though, that this is not correct. This assumption is not correct because double speed
Why?
skill gain does not mean that I'm going to get double the amount of skill. The reason is
For the
because
same amount of time?
correct. And the reason is because as you progress, the amount of skill you get starts shrinking.
But for both both servers, that would be the same, wouldn't it?
So here, I think I can now explain. If you do 50 actions and you get 10 skill, I'm just like giving an example.
Yeah.
You do 50
On
actions
Freedom?
and that gives, yeah, on Freedom.
Yeah.
So you do. Let's actually make it more realistic. You do 50 actions and you get 1 skill, and then on Epic, you do those same 50 actions, and you're only going to get like 1 point. Oh, this is bad. I thought I had it, but I didn't.
I don't understand. If you do 50 actions on Freedom and you get 10 skill, 10 times... Are you talking about skill points, or are you talking about how many of those actions you get skills from?
Okay, I think I got it now. I'm changing my plan.
Okay.
If I do a certain amount of actions, I'm going to get a certain amount of skill. But if I double that amount of actions, I'm not going to double the amount of skill I get. And the reason is because each action gives you, or each skill tick is like shrinking. Right? So if I go from 1 to 20 in a skill, and then I repeat the same number of actions that I did through 1 through 20, I'm not going to get to 1 through 40.
Yeah, but that's not what people are thinking. They're just thinking they're going to get a specific amount of skill for the time that they invest, not that that skill is always the same. So for example, on Freedom, if I were to do the 1 to 10 or something, I got skill, I did this much time, I spent this much time, and I went from 1 to 10.
Right.
Then my understanding is Epic players would be able to reach 10 in half that time.
Right.
That it took me.
But that's a misunderstanding. That's not true. It's not going to be a half. And it has to be based on the number of actions. You can't do it about how much time. So if you do like a certain number of actions,
let's say the Freedom player does 50 actions,
right,
and they get a certain amount of skill for those actions. Like they start at level 1, and they do 50 actions with the same tool, and then the Epic player does 50 actions at level 1 for the same skill,
right,
and with the same tool.
Yeah, the Epic player is not going to be double
the Epic player is not going to be double the skill, but the epic player will have received more experience than the
Right.
freedom player. Because per tick, they will have received not double the amount of experience, but they will have received twice the amount of experience that a freedomer would have received at that particular snapshot
Right.
of goal, of
That's
skill.
true. That is true.
It's
But-
like, think of it this way. It's like the epic player always has sleep bonus on by default.
No. But here's the thing. The first tick, the epic player is going to be twice as high as the freedomer, right? And then the next tick, the epic player is going to get less experience because they're higher in level, right? So
But
they're not
still,
anymore going to be double anymore.
It's not going to be double. They didn't. It is a misconception that.
So Buddha gave exact examples, exact numbers between the difference between the two, right?
Okay.
Like using that equation, he basically said that on average, like, I can give you the exact numbers. He has it here. Where is it? If your epic skill is 50, then your freedom skill would be 39. That is to say that the fifth
You're talking about the
if
epic
you were
curve.
on epic and did a certain number of actions that got you to 50 skill, like however many actions that is, like
Yeah.
that same number of actions on freedom would have netted you 39 skill. Like there was Buddha ran through simulations, which means that he iterated this several times, like giving different conditions and averaging lots of results and getting the best average for the conversion, and said that if you did a certain number of actions and got 50 on epic, then that same number of actions doing the same things on average would have gotten you 39. Now, this isn't always true because sometimes people are optimizing their skill gain and doing things like that to like make them go faster. And if you're doing that, then the transfer is actually different than 50 to 39. Whereas the other way, like if you are just like playing the game to like, not grinding your skills, playing the game by, just building what you need and raising a farm and sort of tending to the fields and not grinding away and letting the skills come as you play, then there was actually a different conversion, right, between epic and freedom. So Buddha dev team had to come up with a way to like sort of average the results of what you would do, like depending on, I don't know. So he
whether
they
you
gave you these
sleep
graphs.
bonus, whether you optimize your skill gain in the video that we made a long time ago, that sort of thing. In fact, the tools
feel
that
like
you use.
If you were the type of player to optimize your skill gain on epic, you're actually winning out on this deal. You're actually losing out on this deal like big time.
Really?
You're losing out on the deal because you're winning out on the deal.
Okay, now
you're
I'm losing
winning
and
out
I'm
on the deal
winning.
because
I'm winning.
Sorry. I said it right the first time, but I got confused myself. If you grind your skills on epic and got them up to really high levels, like 90, let's say,
Yeah.
then your skill is only going to go down. What is 90 going to go down to? I think, 86. So you're only going to lose 4 skill. Right? Like, that's not terrible.
Really?
Considering that 90 skill on epic, if you did take that number of actions to get you to 90 skill on epic and convert it to the same number of actions on freedoms, you would have gotten 86. That's
Because
how
the epic
pronounced it
curve.
gets. No, the epic curve is a whole other thing that we have to talk about, and we can touch on that in a second. But this is because of the double skill gain, and the 90. I just lost my train of thought. Sorry, ask your question.
Well, the epic curve states that you would level faster up to a certain point, and then it's going to take you more actions to get the rest of the way. It's like fast charging your phone.
Right. The epic curve, what that does is it makes it so that you're actually acting as though you have a higher skill than you do. So if you have 50 skill, you're actually acting like you
Oh,
have
I see. Right.
65 skill. And you will mine like 65 ore and all that stuff. Like that's all the curve does.
That's right.
We're talking about just the sheer number of actions that you do on epic if you had double skill gain.
That's interesting that
It translates this way for a specific reason, because as you get higher and higher, the amount of skill gain that you get is less and less and less and less. Right? Like that 90, when you're at 90, it's like the amount of skill that you're getting per action is so minuscule. You need so many actions to get even one more skill. And that gives the epic like the freedom players or whatever it is, the epic player time to catch up, like it's hard to explain.
That makes sense. At
the
least
epic
I
player is
made sense of it, and
the epic player is like feeling that pinch at the top as well. Like their skills are getting less and less, even though it's double what a freedom skiller gets, a freedomer gets. It's like still minuscule. I don't know how else to say it.
that's kind of crazy. That so saying all that, and you're saying that even some skills. Did he give an example of a skill that would take longer on epic? That's kind of curious to me.
Right. So now this is where the epic curve comes in. So, for example, meditation is a prime example, and there are other skills that are like this. That are, there are examples of it where the difficulty. Let me see if I can get this straight. So it's like it makes it so that because your skill is much higher than okay. Let's use terminology that makes that. So effective skill is the skill that, so you have your actual skill.
Yeah.
And then you have your effective skill. Now the actual skill is what your skill window tells you what you have. And your effective skill is what this epic curve allows you to act as.
Right.
Now, because you have a higher effective skill, some actions that are really low difficulty aren't giving you any skill anymore. For example, if you were to, with a really high skill, try to mine rock, you're not going to get any skill gain from that because the difficulty is way too low, right?
So it takes your effective skill into consideration when giving you skill points? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, absolutely. So if your effective skill is 65, then you have to be mining things that are at that level. Now that's the way that you would optimize your skill gain. You would base it off of your effective level, and mining shouldn't be any problem if you want to grind away at on silver veins even when you're in your 70s. But there are other skills where there aren't multiple options for what you can do, like for example meditation, where the only thing you can do is meditate.
Yeah.
And the difficulty of meditation is pretty low-ish, which is why when you get higher, you're getting less frequent ticks. So the difficulty goes lower. But you're on epic and you have a 40 skill, but the thing is your effective skill is like 70 or so, whatever it is. And the difficulty of the actions are so low that the frequency of ticks are going to be so low at 40 skill. So for skills like meditation, it'll actually be longer to get a higher skill on.
Wow. So based off of all of this, some skills might take longer, some skills take shorter times. Optimizing your skill changes all these factors. Using the tools changes these factors. All these things change, right? And they seem to take all these statistics into consideration. They've made kind of like a average of did they do each skill individually? Did they get an average of like general skill types?
Yeah, I think that they are representing each skill by difficulty, like certain or by
So
difficulties available to themselves.
so they do all of this stuff, they get all the statistics.
Hmm.
What are they going to do about it now?
So what they're going to do is they're going to make it so that if you're on Epic and want to transfer over to Freedom, you're allowed to. Just your skills are going to be toned down a little bit due to all these calculations and all this mathematics that they went into to figure it all out. And it's kind of like, it's actually kind of fair the way that they did it. I mean, for some you're going to get the short end of the stick, but for some you're going to get a lot of like a boost. So, and it all kind of works out. So
I see.
the other thing that they did, and this is what makes it actually much nicer, is that they are giving you or giving Epic players 3 times skill gain all the way back up to their previous Epic skills.
And
I don't know if you read that.
Okay. I'm just hearing this for the first time.
Okay.
I'm going to assume some people did not like that.
Yeah, well,
Am I
of
correct?
course.
Am I correct?
Of course. There's always going to be some
Um,
people who don't like something. And for sure, it is kind of like giving the Epic players something. It is definitely giving them a benefit and a bonus, and they will now be able to level up to higher skills much faster than Freedomer would have had to. And some people are arguing that, especially, and this is where it gets a little bit true, especially at the really high levels. Like, for example, if on Epic you grinded your skill all the way up to 100, and there are people who have done this to several skills, then the Epic curve the conversion that Buddha has come up with is going to bring you down to, let's actually put that into the thing. The Epic conversion from 100 will bring you down to 99.991.
Wow.
Actually, really, really close to 99.992. And I think you need to get to 99.9999995. I might be missing a 9 or put another 9 there. I don't know. You need to get to like that in order to actually be officially at 100.
100.
Right. And the grind back is actually really long. Like, some people, the way they're describing it, the grind from this 99.991 to the end is probably more than the grind from 1 to 99.991. Like, that's what people are describing it as.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, what they're complaining is that now this person is coming over here and has 3 times skill gain to get up there. And the number of actions they will have had to do compared to the other people will be significantly less. Anyway, that's what their argument is.
Well, think about this is my concern. Does it make it so if I wanted to skill a character, I should initially start a character on Epic and get my skills up with the hope that eventually I would transfer it to Freedom? Would I then have a shorter time to get my skills up if I did it that way?
So you're saying once they put the change in and I go over to Epic and skill up my skills and come back?
Yeah.
I have a feeling that there's going to be I don't know. I really don't know.
And then how about this? How about if they don't allow you to do that? How about if I wanted to start a new character? Should I recommend starting on Epic, go there, get a bunch of skills up to like highish level, and then transfer over to Freedom to get the 3 times skill gain?
I don't know. It's possible that the 3 times skill gain is only going to be given to, I don't know.
Old players, or like for a
Yeah,
specific amount of time, like a month or
potentially.
something. I don't know.
Hard to say. They would have to
Because
do
if
something.
that's
I
if that's
can see that.
forever, how could you not recommend people start on Epic?
That's true. Totally. Because you would start off by doing the same number of actions as the freedom player. You would go over and get a fair conversion down to like the same skill that you would have. But
Mm.
now you have 3 times skill gain all the way back up to the previous one. Now and then you put, some people are saying, then you put sleep bonus on top of that,
Well, yeah.
and you have 6 times skill gain all the way back up. So let's do some actually like examples. Like, for example, let's see if we can get some optimal situations going here. Let's say, okay, for example, I skill up to level 28
Yeah.
on Epic, which shouldn't take too long, right? Then I hop over to Freedom. And by the way, this is only if I wanted the character on Freedom anyway. I'll go over to Epic, skill up to 28, hop over to Freedom, I'm
Yeah.
back down to 19, which is what I would have been if I did the same number of actions.
Mm-hmm.
And then now I have 3 times skill gain all the way back up to 28. How would you optimize this? Yeah, it seems like for a long time you're getting over 10 skill. There's a 10 skill difference. Like, you can go up to 60 on Epic, and then you'll be back to 49 on Freedom, but with 3 times skill gain all the way back up to 60. I don't know.
So I don't know. I don't know if that's good or bad or.
I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know what it's like over on Epic, to be fair, and because I've never really done too much over there, even though we were there for maybe a month or two.
Yeah, I'd say you could stay on your home server. You could level up a whole bunch of stuff. Do like a small intro to the game there. Get your skills up, and then be like, all right, I'm ready to venture off onto Freedom. Go to Freedom and get your 3 times skill gain on all your skills.
Mm-hmm.
And
True.
I don't know, maybe that's a good idea. Maybe they should just do that in general. Maybe there should just be like a tutorial village or world that they can all like learn the game, skill up on. Although I still think that my tutorial island area idea was a great idea. But anyway, I don't know. So let's sum this up as we're there's
I
not
feel like I
enough
haven't
space
really
for
been
this.
contributing. Yeah, what is going on here?
You have not been contributing to this.
I know. I've been totally like distracted because let's be fair, this is a complicated conversation.
Ceiling is too close. Did you not finish the ceiling?
I don't know. Is it that? Does it say the ceiling's too close?
Yeah, right here.
And I fell right at the end.
Oh no, you just fell.
Yep. We should have connected this bridge.
There
That
we
would have
go.
been easier for me to do.
That is so funny. All right, let me just finish up this floor so I can actually see where we were going this whole time. We were making our way up here. So that we can get up to this platform. I think this ends up being a really cool area. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. So there's the platform that we were building to. Hopefully we can get a bridge in there so people can't fall through. And if you look down here, I don't think I can fall here. I can fall that way. Adam is going to be building, or I think we're going to be building a bridge there and one up there. So that's what we're going. So let's sum up what's happening. Wurm is creating this big update with animal cages, with a brand new skill, archaeology, and restoration.
Mm-hmm.
They're adding the wagoner so that you can transport goods from one village to another with a kind of like a hired wagoner with an NPC on it, trying to. I don't even know what the whole deal with that is yet. And using the highway system, for example, just so that
it seems like it would be great for bulk transfer, bulk goods.
Yeah. As long as you're part of the highway system, so get those highways up and running.
We could get, like, you can deliver animals too because of the animal cages.
That's right. A bunch of other small tweaks that are coming, like dragging a whole bunch of items from one storage device to another in one click.
Right.
They just announced that. So like a bunch of tweaks, and yeah, I saw that video. Pretty much how I thought it would work.
That's awesome. That seemed excessive though, like thousands at a time. It seemed pretty crazy.
And then all this epic change. So I'm assuming that all this epic stuff is happening for the update. After the update, then you can transfer to Epic, and Epic people can transfer to Freedom. Seems to be what's happening?
Yeah. Everybody can transfer, it seems.
So for the update. So this update is looking to be a huge thing.
We have to apologize because we're from the perspective of Freedom players whom the Epic changes don't really resonate with us. So we're not speaking to it as, like, we're totally out of our element, and we have to apologize for that.
Maybe you guys can tell us exactly why, convince us why these changes should make us want to play on Epic.
Mm-hmm.
Or why these changes we should be excited about so that Epic players can come to Freedom. I mean, in the end, Epic players could have come to Freedom already, and we would love to have more players on Freedom as well. So it's great. I'm sure that you would love to have more players on Epic, because I hear there's not that many anymore. And
in the end, I think that this is just going to make, more people come back to the game, first of all, because of potential changes to Epic, and more people being on Epic. Like, if a whole bunch of Freedom players decide to switch over to Epic for whatever reason, and causes Epic to become lively again, then people who left the game because Epic died might be willing to come back. And I think that that's a really good hope to have for this game, because it would mean a lot for this game if that happened.
So in the end, the more Wurm players, no matter where you're going, the better for this game.
Mm-hmm.
And the more Wurm players, the more that can come through this labyrinth. So we better get to it, and we better finish up this labyrinth. I can't wait to finish this. Oh man, we did not do as much as I thought we would do. Maybe we could do some off camera. Thank you guys for watching. We're gonna continue this labyrinth. We're gonna finish this mine. So badly want to finish this. So let's do some bridges off the camera. We'll see you guys next episode, where we will discuss the next topic of the week. So until then, everyone, enjoy worming. See you guys next week. Take care, everyone.